Alright everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm gonna walk everyone through the software on the Samsung Galaxy S21FE. Now y'all can already see at the beginning of the video I had to do some cutaway shots just to showcase some very important information. So I showcased the software version and the security patch. And then I had to do a pause and cutaway to showcase the battery. That's because to get to that part in the settings, you do have to go past some sensitive information that I don't feel comfortable showing. So I had to do some quick cutaway shots there. But now let's go ahead and walk through all of the Samsung One UI software in its entirety. And as y'all already saw, we are running the latest version of Samsung's One UI 6.1, and that's built on top of Android 14. Okay, so now I'm gonna take you through the entirety of the software, and you'll get to see how to set things up and how my exact software setup is. All right, so let's get started. So starting off here, let's start with my main home screen page. So you can see exactly how I have my folders set up. I have a weather shortcut, I have a steps counter shortcut, and I have a movie shortcut because I like to go to the movies. Then for my fitness folder, you can see I have my fitness stuff. So I got my Planet Fitness application, I got Google Fit, I got YouTube Music, and then I have Samsung Health. Okay, then I am currently testing a Soundcore product. So you can see I have the Soundcore companion application. Then I have a settings shortcut. Then I have the shortcut to my smart lights. Then I have my AI applications. These are fire, by the way. ChatGPT and Copilot, some of the best AI applications that you have available on the market today, and that are completely free. So good stuff there, right? Then below that, we have my most commonly used folder, okay, with all my editing stuff in it and my most commonly used applications. And I do see a duplicate application here, so let's remove this. Boom, don't have to have duplicates. Okay, then let's get out of that. Then next to that, I got my shopping folder. Okay, then I have my important folder here with important stuff to it right there. Then I got my movies and entertainment folder right here. Then I got my social media folder right here. Then below that, we got all the primary applications, so phone dialer, messages applications, Google applications that I use all the time, web browsers, and then camera and gallery applications right there. And that's how my main setup is. I only have one page, and then if I swipe to the left, I do have my Google Home feed set up. So good stuff there as well. And you can actually change that. I'm gonna show you where you can change that. Okay, then if I swipe up, this takes us into my app drawer, and you can see I have all my folders in. I have all my applications in folders. I said that backwards, my bad. And then if I swipe down, you can see I have some applications that are always running, and then you can see how I organize my quick toggles. And then if I swipe down again, you can see all of my important quick toggles here and stuff that Samsung had preset up. So Samsung presets up device control and smart view, but then you can customize everything else, right? And I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so let's start with home screen settings. That's basically my entire setup here. Let's start with home screen settings. So to get into your home screen settings, you can do this one of two ways. You can go into the settings application, and then you can scroll down to wallpapers and themes, or you can press and hold, and then you can see here Now we got some settings here. So we got wallpapers and styles, we got themes, we got widgets, and then we have settings. And if you tap on settings, this takes you into your home screen settings. So this way you can configure exactly how you want your home screen to behave and look. So you can see layout. We got two different layouts. We got the home screen with an app drawer that you can access via swipe up or swipe down. Okay. Or you can put all of your applications on the home screen and just folded them up if you would like. Okay, so you have no app drawer at that point. Okay, I like to use the home screen in the app drawer. That's how come I have it set up like that. Basically, you pick the way you want it and you hit apply, and then the system will set itself up, and then you configure your apps how you want. Okay, coming out of that, we can do our grid sizes for the home screen. Okay, so you can see we go as low as 4x5 and we go as high as 5x6. I like 5x5. Okay, then going out of that, we got the grid layout for our app drawer, so our app grid, and you can see you could do the same thing. We can go as low as 4x5 and we can go as high as 5x6. Okay, going down from there, we do have the grid layout for our folders. So this one you can't pack as high, but it's still a 3x4 or a 4x4, so that's not bad. Then right here, this is how you configure whether or not you want a screen to appear on the left of your main home screen. So you can toggle this off and on if you don't want it or you want it. And then if you tap on it, you see they give you two options. You can use your Google home feed or your Google Discover page, or you can use the Samsung News. Okay, I like to use Google, but Samsung does have its own option. Samsung has its own alternative to basically everything that Google provides. Moving on here, you can show the app drawer button on your home screen. That's kind of an old school feature. I don't know why Samsung still has that, but they've had that for a while. You can lock your home screen layout, so even if you accidentally press something, it won't mess up your home screen. You can do that as well. And or you can make it so new applications you install directly show up on the home screen. I turn that off because it's okay with me if they go directly into the app drawer. That's not a problem. And then right here, any applications that you can't disable or uninstall, you can hide them so you're not using them, right? And you can see the two applications that I never really use are Samsung News and the Samsung web browser. Okay, and I've actually found the Samsung web browser to be a little bloatware heavy and a little malware-ish in my opinion, and it's not something that I really like to use. So you can see I've disabled those two, but you can go ahead and disable and hide any application that you install or any application that you can't disable or uninstall. That's what I recommend you do here, and that's how you get to it. So hide applications on the home screen and app drawer. All right, that's how you do that. Then swiping on down, we got our numbers icon. Now you can also change this to dots if you would like, or you could turn it off. Right there, as you can see, I like to use the numbers. And then swiping down, you can do the swipe down gesture to bring up your notification shade. Or if you turn this off, it would just swipe you through the home screens in the app drawer. But I like to have that swipe down gesture for my notification shade. You have the rotate into landscape. This is really good for me in my opinion, because most of the time I'm using my devices to record video, and you like to do that from the landscape orientation or the 16:9 orientation. So I always turn this on. But if you don't like that, you can disable that, and then it will have everything constantly staying in portrait mode orientation. But when you do rotate certain apps, the apps themselves will go into landscape. You could turn that off by turning off the auto rotate in your quick settings. Okay, then we have the about home screen and the contacts. Those are self-explanatory. but that's how you can configure your home screen and your app drawer. All right, now moving on, let's dive into how you can configure your quick toggles. Right, so we swipe down twice, and then you can see we got a pencil here to help us configure our quick toggles. We also got a power button icon, and this is where you can turn off your device. The reason why they do this is by default they have your side button key set up to activate Bixby, right? But if you want to get rid of that, you hit that power button icon, and then you can turn off your device using that icon. But if you want to get rid of that, you hit the power button icon, then you hit the option that says side button settings, and this takes you into here, and now you can configure your quick launch of the camera or your quick launch of any application, and you can add in your power button menu and turn off Bixby. Okay, I always do that on the newer Samsung devices, but for those of you that don't know how that's done and you got used to using the on-screen power button, that's how you do that. Okay, all right, so now jumping back into how you configure your quick toggles, you can see to the left of the power button icon we do have a pencil, and this lets us configure our quick toggle area and our overall quick toggles, right? And you can see we can hit edit on both of those. So the first one is our top quick toggles, so the quick toggles that show up when you swipe down once, the stuff you have quick access to, the actual quick toggles. And you can see you have access to 6 really quick ones, and you can pick basically a quick toggle for basically any application you have on your device. Okay, and then you click done when you have it the way you want, and then the next one is your full quick toggles area when you swipe down twice, and here you can have as many quick toggles as you want, but I've organized mine to be in a specific order. Okay, this is pretty much the order I like to use across all of my smartphones. But then again, you hit the minus to get rid of it, and then you drag and drop to put it on. So you press and hold and you drag and drop to put it on, and it's just that simple. Okay, and then you click done when you're done setting it up. And then right here you got quick instant access settings here. Okay, so basically if you swipe down from the right, it will automatically bring you into the full quick toggle zone. I don't like that, because sometimes I just want to access the quick toggles area, so I always turn this off. And then going down from that, you got your brightness controls. I always want to see that, so I have it set to always, or you can set it to where you only see it when you're in the quick toggle zone or the expanded quick toggle zone. All right, but I like to always see mine. And then you have device and media outputs, so to control your sound or anything that has media. I like to always see that when I'm in the fully expanded quick toggle zone, so that's how I have that set up. Contact us, self-explanatory, and that goes through how to set up your quick toggles area. Okay, now moving on, let's dive into some more settings in the sub settings. So let's just hit the settings icon. Now you can also get to this by swiping down, and you see that gear icon in the upper right hand corner. You can tap on that, it will take you to the same place. Or if you swipe down twice, you can see the gear icon again pops up next to your editing pencil and your power button. Still get there. It all takes you to the same place. So no matter how you want to get to it, that's how you do it. You either hit the gear icons or you hit the gear settings application. It's all going to take you to the same place. Okay, then from here you can see you got access to your Samsung account information. Now I'm not going to tap on that because that's self-explanatory, but it also gives you suggestions under here when the phone feels you should do certain things. Now it won't always give you suggestions, but it does happen occasionally. Underneath that, we got our connections. This is all self-explanatory here, so you can access different connection settings: Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi calling, Bluetooth, NFC, contactless payments, all that good stuff is here. Airplane mode, mobile networks. Mobile networks is where you put in the access point names, okay? And then more connections and secure Wi-Fi. All of this is self-explanatory, okay? And then you got quick shortcuts to other settings, like link to Windows, Android Auto, and Quick Share. Side note, I'm not a big fan of what they've done with Quick Share. I always like the Google version of Quick Share, and that's how I had everything set up with my devices, to quickly transfer things from one device to another. But now Google and Samsung kind of have this heavy integration, so they kind of really messed up my quick file transfer setup. So Google, bring that back. Samsung, do better. That's a quick little side note there. And then after that, we have our device connections. And here, this is where we get to the bread and butter right here. This is the bread and butter of the Samsung software. So we got the quick share settings. Okay, jumping into this, all of your quick share settings here. All right, good stuff there. Then we have our music share, and you could turn this off and on in your music share settings. Okay, then we have our auto connect for Samsung Buds. So basically, like what Apple does, you can quickly connect your buds to your device or your tablets or your laptop, any Samsung product. So that's good stuff there. Now, I don't currently have Galaxy Buds at the moment, but when I did, this was a really awesome feature, because then no matter what I wanted to use, it quickly switched to my buds, and I always had my buds connected. Okay. Then we have the continue calls on other devices. That's pretty much self-explanatory, but I always set this up, but I haven't set this up yet. Okay, because after I do my review on this is strictly going to be used for recording video, so I don't really have to have this set up right now. Okay, but I did always used to set that up on my other Samsung Galaxy devices, especially when I was going to be using them for a long period of time. Okay, moving on, we have continue apps on other devices. So this was something I always turned on, so I can always continue the app data on other devices like my tablet. And it also allows you to conveniently copy and paste things from one device to another. Okay. Then after that, we got our camera sharing. So this is really cool if you use Google Meets, because this lets you use your phone camera as an additional web camera for your Google Meet calls, right? So let's say you start a Google Meet call on your tablet, you could turn on this setting and then have an additional camera from your smartphone. Really good stuff there. I don't really use Google Meets, but I do feel as though that's a really cool feature. Then we have the link to Windows. Now I have to say this, the Samsung and Microsoft integration is super duper cool, but again, I haven't set this up because I'm using this for like a month to do my review, and then I'm gonna factory reset everything to just use it as a video camera. So I haven't really set this up yet. Okay. Then underneath that, we got the multi-control. All right. So you can just use this to transfer files between multiple devices real quickly, as you can see on the screen here, as long as they're connected to the same Wi-Fi network or Bluetooth is turned on, and you have previously paired your devices to your phone, you can easily and quickly transfer different things. Okay, but primarily this works best with Galaxy products. So like your Galaxy phone, your Galaxy tablet, your Galaxy laptop, so on and so forth. Okay. I have to say this as well. Samsung does have a really nice ecosystem these days, a really nice ecosystem of products, from their smartphones to their tablets to their watches to their earbuds to their TVs, even to their laptops. Samsung has a really nice ecosystem, and the integration that Samsung now has between Google and Microsoft, it really makes Samsung a powerhouse company and a powerhouse tool if you're willing to buy into the Samsung products. Now, adversely, that does have the added effect of allowing Samsung to charge a little bit more for their products, okay, because now they're kind of a big name brand. They've kind of been a big name brand for a while now, but with that really tight ecosystem integration, they're encroaching on Apple territory with some of the prices that they like to charge. Now, they don't have the staying power for device value that Apple has, but with the recent integration and solid connection and collaboration with Google, and their recent commitment to offer 7 years of software updates and security patches like the Google Pixel devices do, that really does make them very competitive when you're shopping shopping devices or ecosystems. So like whether you're shopping and you're trying to think of, do I want to go with Samsung, or do I want to go with an Apple product, or do I want to go with some Google products, this really does, their integration and their ecosystem and their solid performing devices really do make them a competitive offering if you're willing to pay the price. Then right here we got our other bread and butter. We got the Samsung DeX. Now you got Samsung DeX and you have Samsung Smart View. They do basically the same thing, but they are a very different look. Samsung DeX gives you more of a desktop environment, similar to like a desktop PC or a laptop, whereas Smart View just mirrors your screen to different devices like TVs. But basically, if you have a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse like I do, they basically do the same thing. And you can configure these to work with a hardline connection, so like an HDMI cable or a USB-C to HDMI cable. I have a USB hub that splits out to a SD card and a USB port and an HDMI out port, right? But you can do it wired or you can do it wirelessly. Really, really nice stuff here. And again, if you have a Samsung TV, it really works nicely with your Samsung devices. Okay? So that was Samsung DeX. And then here we have the Samsung Smart View, which is basically the same thing as I just said. Okay? Get out of that. Then we have the Galaxy Wearables application. And this is for if you had like a smartwatch or if you had like some Galaxy Buds. That's where they tie in everything. With the Galaxy, it used to be Samsung Wearables. Now it's Galaxy Wearables application. Good stuff there. Okay. Then we have Android Auto. That's pretty much self-explanatory. For all my Apple people, you might be used to Apple CarPlay, but Android has its Android Auto equivalent. Okay. Then other than that, we got the Bluetooth settings, which we already seen, and a quick shortcut to our mobile hotspot and tethering. Alright. That's pretty much the bread and butter here of the settings. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. So we got our modes and routines, and you can set these up based on location or based on whether you have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or location running. Your device will do different things. Okay. Then we have our sounds and vibrations. All self-explanatory stuff here. Okay. Then we have our display, and this is where you can control your adaptive brightness, your dark and light mode, and or your motion smoothness or high refresh rate. Now I always turn off the high refresh rate because literally my eyes can't tell the difference, so I always turn that off to save battery. Okay, but with that on, it will be extra smooth, but it will give you a battery hit. Okay, and then you got your eye comfort, and then you got your screen mode. I always use natural because vivid always seems a little bit punchy to me, but when you put on vivid, you can dial in the screen exactly how you like. So if you want it to be more cooler, more warmer, or you can even do advanced, and you can dial in the RGB color exactly the way you want, and then you can see your previews here. But like I said, with vivid, it just makes it a little bit too punchy to me, so I just rock with it on natural, at least when I'm using Samsung devices. Then we got our font and screen size here, so you can do your font sizes and adjust it how you would like. You could change your fonts. Okay, you can add more, so you can really dial in your Samsung device exactly the way you want. You could change your screen size. Okay, you can also change your screen size by jumping into developer settings by tapping on your build number 10 times. That's also how you used to be able to get into speeding up your animations, but they have given you a quick shortcut for that. So that's your font, that's your screen size. This is the applications and whether or not you want them to be full screen applications. Okay, this is for your camera cutout. Maybe y'all don't like the punch hole, y'all just want one big screen. You can configure which apps have that, or you can set all apps to that. Okay, then we have our screen cutout, screen timeout. We have an easy mode, so maybe you want the big icons and you want it to be as simplistic as possible. That's your easy mode. Okay, we have our edge panels. Now I don't use edge panels, so I turned it off, but if you like that edge panel gesture swipe, this is where that is. Now it comes turned on by default, but I always turn it off because I don't really use it. Okay, but that's how you get to that, and that's how you configure that. Then we have our buttons. Now Samsung does still use the on-screen buttons, but they do have the gestures as well. I pretty much got used to the gestures, but to be honest with you guys and gals, I can take it either way, because the buttons do add another level of versatility, especially with the adaptability settings. So you can have shortcuts to like screenshot and different adaptability settings on your device. Okay, but I'm pretty much used to the gestures or the buttons. Now I still run the buttons on my tablet because I like access to those additional settings, but for my devices I can use it either way. Okay, and then I always turn these on to make the touch responsiveness a little better, so accidental touches, so it's not accidentally turning on stuff. And then touchscreen sensitivity, this boosted touchscreen sensitivity all the way. And then real quickly, we have charging information. I always want to see the charging information when the screen is off or when I'm charging, so I always turn this on, but you just toggle that off and on as you would like. And then you can see they give you quick settings options here to your always on display, to your advanced vision enhancement, so this really dials in the saturation, the language, and the side button. Okay, moving on down, we got our battery information here, and you can see it's still learning my information, but once it learns, you should be good to go. So you got your battery protection, so it limits the charging to 85% to extend the overall battery health. Then you can see your battery usage and screen on times here. You can see your app usage here. You can do your charging settings here. So you could turn on fast charging or fast wireless charging. If you turn these off, your device will charge a little bit slower than the 25-watt fast charging that Samsung uses, which really isn't that fast, but that's what Samsung likes to call it. But if you do toggle these off, your device will charge a little bit slower. Okay, especially for wireless charging. With this off, wireless charging goes super duper slow. With fast wireless charging turned on, you're gonna charge up in anywhere from about 3 to 4 hours. With fast charging turned off, it's gonna be like 5 to 6 hours. Okay, so if you want a nice slow charge when you're sleeping and you don't want to necessarily generate that much heat before you go to bed, just toggle off the fast wireless charging. Okay, then here you can also add a battery percentage icon. Now I have a dedicated app for that, so I don't use that. And then we have our battery information here. Okay, and that's another shortcut to your battery information, which is stuff I already showed you guys, right? Now, another thing that I always feel like it's important to mention with Samsung devices is this: background usage and limitations, right? Now, Samsung turns this on by default to preserve battery and memory, but I do find that this setting sometimes force closes applications that I don't want to be force closed. So I always feel like I need to point this out. So if you guys and gals have different applications that you don't want to be force closed, you need to go into this setting here and you turn this off. Put to sleep unused applications, you would turn that off. Okay, and then you would come in here and you would go in here and you would unsleep these important applications, and you can see it's already done a few of my important applications. So with the applications in deep sleep, you will not get certain notifications, and that's really bad, especially for like banking applications. So I always recommend you turn off deep sleep for your important applications, and then what you need to do to make sure they never go to sleep, right, is you want to go ahead and you go to never auto sleep applications and you would add them in here, right? So with them in this list, they'll never be put to sleep. All right, so let me just show y'all real quick. So if I hit the plus, let me just add in some applications that I never want to be slept. So let's see here, banking applications, do that there. Just some quick ones here. All right, my Gmail, that's important. We never want that to be put to sleep. And my messaging applications. Okay. And lastly, shipping applications. We don't want those to be put to sleep. And YouTube Studio, we don't want that to be put to sleep either. So you just do it like that. Now these applications will never be put to sleep. All right, that's how you do that. And then also what you can do is you come out of this here, right? And then we come out of this here, and then you go back to your applications. Okay, right here, and then you find the applications that you know you don't want to be put to sleep. You find them here, and then right in here you toggle this off where it says remove permissions if app is unused. Typically that's Samsung's indicator to its software to put a device to sleep. So if you don't use an application for a certain amount of time, it will be like, oh, this application hasn't been used. Let's go ahead and remove the permissions and put it to sleep. So any application that you don't want put to sleep, you go into the application screen, you go into the application and you toggle this off. This way it will never be removed, and Then you go and you add to the never put to sleep list, and you add those applications into the never put to sleep list. This way your important applications will never be put to sleep. Real quick tip there that I always feel is important to mention. Alright, and then while we're in the app screen, this is where you do your default apps up here. So your default home screen, your default assistant, your default spam application. Okay, and I like to use the Google spam application, but Samsung is good too, so you can do that in here. So if you had the Google dialer, you can use the Google spam, and then you got the call redirector for Google voice calls. Okay, so on and so forth. And you can see I like to use Google Assistant, so I have Google Assistant instead of Bixby set up. Okay, that's that. But you can basically set your default apps for everything. Okay? Okay. Alright. Moving on down here, let's do the advanced features. These other things are self-explanatory. Now, another thing. If you want to do your software updates, you jump into this screen right here, security and privacy, and you could check for your software updates from this screen, right? And you can get a brief overview as to how secure your system is. I do like this. I like this a lot. And then you could go down further, and then you can add your fingerprints and all that good stuff here by tapping on biometrics, right? So good stuff there. I do like this screen. This is really nice. So you can check your security updates and get a brief look at how secure your device is from here. So that's really nice. Now, moving on, safety information, that's self-explanatory. Now, I do recommend you fill out your safety medical information just in case there's an emergency, and you fill out your emergency contacts and your emergency alerts via emergency sharing and emergency SOS. This way, if there's ever an emergency, you can send important information to emergency contacts, and emergency services will have access to your medical information. So I do recommend y'all take the time to fill these out and set these up. We never know when something bad is going to happen, and at the end of the day, you always have your smartphone on you, so why not have your emergency information like your allergies, emergency contacts, and things of that nature always set up. And this is also where you can turn off and on emergency alerts. Okay? So I wanted to point that out as well, because that's very important as well. And then another thing that I wanted to point out is that if you want to set up or switch devices and you miss the initial setup, you need to go into accounts and backup here. And then this is where you can redo your backup or redo your setup with Samsung applications. Okay, you can do that from here. So if you miss the initial setup, or like if you're a YouTuber like myself, and you generally bypass the initial setup because you want to showcase the starting storage and the starting RAM, this is how you can reinitiate that. Or you can just use the Samsung Smart Switch application. Okay? And I just noticed now that this video crossed over 35 minutes, but being as this is a software walkthrough and it's really hard to timestamp these, this particular video, even though it's over my timestamp limit, will not be timestamped. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. Now, advanced features, this is where you can get into your multi-device control, your smart gestures, and your gestures. So this is where you can do your raise to wake, your double tap to wake and sleep, your pick up to a phone alert, your flip over to mute, your palm swipe to take a screenshot, so on and so forth. You can still use the traditional way to take a screenshot on Android by pressing and holding the power button and the volume down button at the same time for 1 second. You can still do that, and you can still do long screenshots as well. But that's where you would get to that. Then we got our one-handed mode here, which gives you access to a gesture when you're using the gestures, or your button tap, press and hold when you're using the buttons. Okay, so that's that. Now I don't like one-handed mode, so I have that turned off, but it's really nice there. Okay, and this is also where you can get to another nice feature, which is your dual messenger. Now your gaming hub, that's for your gaming settings. Now I always turn it off because I don't game. Side note, there will not be a gaming video for this device, okay? It's a flagship device. It games no problems, and I'm not really a gamer. And again, I'm trying to do this for content creation purposes. So there won't be a gaming video on this device. Just know it games really good for your standard Android games, okay? But I will link up some of my favorite content creators that do really in-depth gaming videos. ETA Prime, I'm talking about you, bro. Do a great job. But back on task. So dual messenger. Any application where you have multiple accounts, you can use the dual messenger feature, right? So if you have multiple Facebook, multiple messengers, multiple WhatsApps, you can do the dual messenger feature. Really nice, and you can separate your contacts as well. This also makes Samsung devices really good business/personal tool, right? This feature right here. So you can separate your work or business aspects of your life from your personal and private aspects of your life with these different features. Okay, wanted to showcase that one as well. Okay, and then the rest of this is basically self-explanatory here. So we already showcased device health from our initial unboxing and first impressions video. Okay, we did the applications. Okay, general management. This is where you can set up your voice inputs and your keyboards and things of that nature. You can also set up what happens when you have a physical keyboard connected via the USB connection or Bluetooth connection. Okay, you can add in a personal dictionary to your keyboards. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, tips and help, basically self-explanatory. Software updates, self-explanatory. So you can scan for software updates and have it so it automatically installs. Okay, and the about area. Now this is where you would access your developer options to turn off different animation speeds, but there is quick access to that, so you don't necessarily have to gain access to that. There is quick access to that with the reduced animations in the advanced features. So if you do click this, you now can turn off your animations here, and you can change different things. Okay, and turning off your animations will make your device seem faster, but with those animations off, it can be a little bit jarring to some people. So I used to do it to make my device faster, but nowadays the devices are so smooth and have nice transitions that I rarely feel the need to do it. Okay, so this, guys and gals, essentially goes over all the important software that I think is important to know about on your Samsung Galaxy devices. And this concludes the software walkthrough for the Samsung Galaxy S21FE. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. I hope you guys and gals found it helpful. I do apologize that this is a longer video that you really have to sit down and watch, because I find this really difficult to timestamp this style of video. But as always, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed it. I hope you guys and gals found it helpful. If you did, please help your boy out by giving the video a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. If you would like to see more content like this, also feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and make sure you click off the notification bell icon right next to it so you guys and gals get notified when I publish new videos. Also feel free to follow me across all the social media platforms. I'll link up my social media handles down below in the video description. And if this video piqued your interest, all the affiliated buy links as to where you can pick up the Samsung Galaxy S21FE and my recommended accessories for it will be linked up down below in the video description. And all of my extended coverage on this device will be linked up down below in the video description as well. Alright, so the video description will be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. And remember, guys and gals, if you do want to purchase this device, consider using the affiliate links located down below in the video description. When you guys and gals use those links, I do get a small percentage of commission that I do put back into the channel, and that's at no additional cost to you guys and gals. So using those affiliate links is a passive way to support the channel, and it does so at no additional cost to you guys and gals, so I consider that to be a win-win for everyone. Alright, so remember that, guys and gals. I hope everyone is having a great day. I hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there, and I will catch everyone in the next one. Have a good one, everybody. We are out of here. Peace.